your GM. I use he, him, they, them.
Hello, it's me, your heir. I use he, him. And this is Jay on Air, space, drawl, steel, Codex edition. And I, for one, can't wait for Jay to reshare his screen with me so I can see all the things he's going to show me.
God dang it!
Get
Here
your
I
spot blown up,
was,
fool.
all ready to go. All right.
So, yeah, today we're going to talk. I asked you after our amazingly awesome session of Draw Steel in our ongoing campaign last night. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, for prepping these encounters, are you using because we're playing in the Codex, which is the official Draw Steel VTT,
Mm-hmm.
and I was asking, are you using the encounter builder in there? Are you building from the books and then just manually plopping in all the monsters you need?" And you said you're doing some combination of both, and I figured, hey, that might be a good thing to share with our YouTube watching audience because maybe they want to do that. And I don't know how to do it. So teach me, Jay. Teach me how to draw steel.
I will try to do this as quickly as possible. To get this in an under 15-minute video, let's get started. So, first things first, go to maps, and then I click a new map, and then you want to import an image, square grid, create map. We're going to pick an image. Now, there's an extra step for me because I have to bring an image into the Proton folder for Steam for this game, but I've already done that step. And I remember from last night that the X3AZ image is the image for this warehouse. So there's the image for the warehouse. Boom. So since it has a grid, I will now click on the grid. It will place down a marker. I click continue.
Oh, that's so rad.
And it places down a second marker. And then when you click continue again, it wants you to place a marker really far away, because then if there's any like variance in the width of the squares or anything like that, it'll be able to figure it out. This is looking kind of grungy as a file. I think that's right. Okay, there we go. And then click continue again. It just double checks the grid that it's good. And then we click finish, and bada bing, bada boom. Your
I
map is
would
loaded up.
I would sell my firstborn. No, I
Mm-hmm.
would sell my secondborn. The firstborn's a lot easier a lift. I would sell my secondborn for that feature and all the times I've used Roll20.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy fuck.
Oh yeah, matching the grid to the map is such a pain so many times, and a lot of times it's an extra pain because maps will have like a slightly off kilter final square,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that just
Hmm.
ruins the grid feature of most VTTs. Not here though. This is a great. They do it very similarly in D&D Beyond's Maps program, but it's a little different, and I actually find the one in Maps a little easier to use. But this is an easy second place on that front, and really really usable. So this is very good. Okay, so next up, I went through the monster book and I looked up the encounter value for my party. Your encounter value is it goes up by level. At level 1 it's 6. And then you multiply times the number of people in your party. So there are 5 people in my party currently, so the encounter value is 30. But actually, my heroes currently have 3 victories, and for every 2 victories, you get to add another party member to correct the encounter value. So the current encounter value is 36. So I looked up 36 encounter value worth of human guards, and I go into the bestiary tab here. There is a tab for humans.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
from here I can just pick up most of my. So I believe I had 2 human guard units. I had human archers, which are these. So
Yeah, yeah,
squads
yeah.
are automatically deployed in groups of 4 because squads are always
Oh.
made in 4. And
Mm-hmm.
they have all their HP bars linked automatically as well.
Because they're
So
minions. That's awesome.
exactly. I then had a human knave as one of the group leaders. I had 2
Mm-hmm.
human scoundrels. Now the human scoundrels don't have tokens yet. They're still implementing some of the monsters, so that's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
common. But the human knaves don't have tokens yet. And then I believe I had a human brawler as my 4th and final
Yeah, because he
leader.
decked me across the jaw with a haymaker multiple times. I remember him.
Absolutely. So then What you do is you go to the character tab here. I'm going to right click to get rid of the token I'm carrying around. I can select all these enemies, and then I can click group initiative and then make captain. So what that does is when I roll initiative, all these units will be treated as
Oh.
one group of enemies, and it automatically selects the strongest unit in the group to be the captain. So this guy is now the captain of the squad.
And
Um,
if the captain is like a leader type monster, and
mhm.
it has like effects that like affect minions where they're the leader of the group, does that auto apply? I don't know
Um,
if any of these
so
guys are leader types.
so it's actually better than that, which is any
What?
squad with a captain automatically gets the captain bonus. They don't have to be a leader type. So if I initiate him as a squad, you'll see that these archers here, they have an ability main action that lets them fire their crossbow, right? So it's already sort of doing the calculus on how far they can fire with this white border here.
Hmm.
And you'll see that that is 10 squares because they have a captain. If I go out of this and if I were
Oh.
to remove captain and then click them into their main action crossbow, you see the squares much smaller.
Huh.
Yep.
That is so rad. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So it does automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's the captain bonus. Whenever they
Yep.
have a captain for the
Exactly.
squad,
Their range is
that is
increased.
so
And it
cool.
automatically picks it up and applies it. It's so easy. I don't even have to think about it. So, for example, I believe these guards have a bonus to damage or something like that with Captain. Oh no, with Captain Speed +2. So let me guess. If I move these guys, does it show 7 squares? It shows 7 squares right there.
I know in our last video about the Codex, we had some comments about people saying like, the automation is amazing, but a lot of like the core VTT stuff, like the UI and whatnot, is hard to follow. And I've definitely felt some of that, but I also want to qualify like this is a product in alpha, and if you know anything about like any software development, functionality comes first, UI UX comes last.
To
So I
be
was like,
honest,
I know like.
I found that comment kind of strange because the one thing I would push back on against a comment like that is they seem to be talking about like as a VTT this it has some features I don't like, but I think like Codex is not aiming to be a generalized VTT. Codex is aiming to be a
Mm-mm.
draw steel VTT. And so
Hmm.
it doesn't necessarily want to be a generalist VTT. It doesn't want to replace Foundry. It doesn't want to replace Roll20. It wants to be the best place to play Draw Steel. And I mean, as we've already seen, like just in these actions, like building out those squads, putting all the enemies on the map, getting them all ready, that took like 5 minutes, right? Like less than
Oh, it
five
was
minutes.
amazing.
It was done.
Yeah, I expected this to be so much longer. I will
Mm-hmm.
say, in terms of like some of the Chrome, like in terms of some of the styling and the layout of UI elements, like even some of the players last night were like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's under my main actions, but because I have so many main actions, it went into the column." Over the maneuver button, so I thought those were
Mm-hmm.
maneuvers. Like these are all things I know they're going to finesse as it goes on. Because again, this is just a product in alpha.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see where that person was coming from. I do think that they were looking for like general features that like yeah, all VTTs have, but this VTT doesn't need because Draw Steel's a different game than a lot of other D20 fantasy. But I cannot wait to see where it goes. And now I cannot wait to run another session because
Mm-hmm.
I did run a one shot for you and some of our friends, and I was going through the books and manually making tokens. I did everything in Roll20. So I was crunching the numbers, like I was
Mm-hmm.
doing the napkin math and finding a token that worked and setting everything up. Seeing this, it would have saved me literally hours of prep for that one
Mm-hmm.
one shot we played.
And just sort of finishing touches I put on last night, there are these particle emitters that I put throughout this
Oh, for the
warehouse.
fires. Yes, we were saving a bunch of civilians
Mm-hmm.
from a burning warehouse.
So I just put these particle emitters down for fire. They're already set up for fire. You can change them to other modes as well,
Hmm. Hmm.
which can help out with that. But yeah, I set them to fire. And then the last thing I did, I guess this is actually the most involved thing I had to do, which was to go into here. There's a human civilian token down here. So I created a group of 4 human civilians, and then I went into each one and then I go into the character sheet, I go into the customize appearance, and then I switch them to a one of the four
Oh yeah, yeah, the
blacksmith
token, the
appearances. Yeah.
mhm.
And then I just, because in my setting the default species are small, I made them a little bit smaller. And then I just went through each of the four just like that. Customize appearance, do this, do that.
If you
Uh,
did that for one and then copy and
mhm.
pasted three times, would that work, or would it be copies?
Oh yeah,
Would it be? Would they be?
I could make so I can copy token and then paste token,
And those aren't
paste token.
linked, right? Like that's
Oh
becoming a new instance. Oh, awesome!
yeah,
So
yeah.
cool.
There's a little gray line that connects them just because they are copies, but there's nothing like mechanically that connects them or
Like
anything.
their stamina is independent and
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. So if I went
Okay,
into
cool.
if I go into character here and I did let's take one of the copies here. I did 4 points of damage to him. I don't believe
That's
actually.
healing.
I don't. Yeah, it doesn't go to the other four. So you see, the other two are both
Huh,
still full. So they're all fine.
amazing.
hmm
Yep, so cool.
So I just made a group of 4 NPCs like that, and I copied them throughout the map. And then, last but not least, there is an object editor in here. That's where I got the fire particles. In the object editor, I also looked for barricade, and then I found this one. And then I just spread some barricades over the windows to show that the
You didn't
guards
even
had.
have to go online and find these assets. These were built right into
Yep.
Codex.
Oh, there's a ton of them.
That's amazing.
I mean, just name an asset. What would you put in a battle map? Like a what's a thing?
Give me a gate, like a barred gate.
Sure. So I have a gate right
Oh
here.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, they have like a
perfect.
ton of stuff. And then I
I'm pretty
learned
sure
this.
that barred gate is the one I've downloaded and uploaded into Roll20 half a dozen times.
I've learned this. If you hold down Shift and you use your middle mouse wheel, you can rotate characters, assets,
Ooh.
whatever. I did not know this before last night, but it makes this a lot faster than actually going in and adjusting rotation manually, which is
Oh
what I
yeah, yeah,
did.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
But
rotation
yeah,
on a scroll bar or on a
mhm,
slider is a pain. Yeah.
yeah. So I did Shift, and then I rotated with my middle, or I can rotate with my
Whoa.
middle mouse wheel, and then yeah. So I just went through and I rotated these to cover the windows, and then I believe once you get one done, I could
Copy paste. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly, Control C, Control V until I did all the other windows. And then using that, I blocked out all the windows and created a combat where you had to like break into the windows and save the NPCs while fighting a group of guards. And the guards had barricades that they were hiding behind
Hmm.
in the streets, so they
Yeah,
were
I believe I
defensive
referred to
above.
this as fuckers kobolds because I was mad.
Honestly, whenever I piss you off, I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that's how I know it's working.
Exactly. I also literally just learned, apparently, if I press control, I can make it bigger too. That's awesome. There's so many hotkeys I gotta learn. Alright, so then the last step, when you want to bring your players into a map, you put them onto the ground. Once you put them in, it loads them into that map, and then it will bring them over. So, yeah, that's the last
I mean, we
step
don't
of.
need any of the other characters. We can just put in six of me,
Yeah,
my perfect,
absolutely.
perfect dragon boy. Yeah.
But yeah, once I loaded in the map, the combat's ready to run. I can click game. I can click. So before I ran the session, I actually did this to check my math, and it actually told me that I was a little off, and so I added some enemies because of this. But if you click
Oh,
draw steel here, um, I can drag all these into non-combatants, so that way they don't mess up the
start
encounter
counting
math.
against the encounter strength. Yeah.
Exactly. So there you go. You can see 38. Right now it's showing as easy because you have 2 more victories. So it's you're technically beyond this. But last night 38 counted as a standard encounter. Um,
Awesome.
so yeah, it just, and that's the great thing is like it if you hover over it here, 5 heroes level 1, base encounter strength 30, average victories 5, extra heroes from victories 2, encounter strength of single hero 6, total encounter strength 42. It breaks down
Wow.
all the math for you, so you know exactly what's affecting that encounter strength. You can know exactly why. Oh, that was supposed to be 36 last time. Why is it 42 this time? Well, it's because they have more victories this time than they had last time. Um,
That's amazing. Like every time we're
mhm.
playing around in this, I'm finding something new. Like even in the game last night, when I realized it was crossing out when the condition was met for me to get a heroic resource that it was tracking automatically. It was also crossing out that for the round, so I knew that I had already gotten that one. Was
Yeah,
yeah.
these
Every
grow
time I
your
find more in
characters
here.
right here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They tell you how you get more of your heroic resource. So like start of combat +5 because of your victories once an encounter,
Hmm,
and
hmm.
then start of turn per round, and then damage from marked per round. Blah 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 blah
Hmm.
blah. It just does everything. It just does everything.
The
But
the
that's
amount of automation is staggering. Yeah.
yeah, but that's a little beyond the scope of this particular video. I just
Hmm.
wanted to
Yeah,
get in
yeah, yeah.
here and show people how you can easily set up a battle map in the Codex, and it can also help you with your encounter value math and your combat preps, and it tracks everything for you. It's a really robust program. I can't recommend it enough. I honestly, every time I use it, I just find something new that's exciting and cool about it, and that it does. And whenever I go to the support window for help about various things, they're always very responsive. I asked them how to rotate stuff this morning. I also asked them like if a character climbs on a roof, can I change their elevation? And they told me a process that can work for that that I'm going to implement going forward. And then they also I asked them about like, hey, if I drag and drop an image into the Codex, it should be able to like give me a prompt like, hey, make this an object, or hey, make this an NPC, and then just
Hmm,
drop that
hmm.
image onto a generic NPC stat block. And they were like, oh, that's a great idea. Put that in a suggestion. And then a couple of the people who work on it were like, oh, that is an interesting idea. We'll think about that more. And so like they're really responsive. They really take feedback well. They're just interested in making the best darn product that they can for Codex and for Draw Steel. So if you play that game, you should give it a try. Give it a try.
Thank you, GM Hub. Yeah, it's just continues to be impressive.
And that's all we got for you this time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.